Important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
In a few moments, the news.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The 20th Amendment to the Constitution has been passed with a two-third majority. 8 opposition parliamentarians voted in favour. The government says the new constitution will be passed within a year. Sri Lanka is to appeal against the move to lift UK's ban on LTTE. Total coronavirus infections in the country reached 6,287, while recoveries from the virus reached 3,561. News overseas, Trump and Biden prepare for final debate clash, and those are the headlines. The third reading of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution has been passed with amendment with a two-third majority. A total of 156 voted in favour of the constitutional amendment, while 65 MPs voted against. The second reading of the 20th Amendment was also passed in Parliament with a two-thirds majority yesterday. A total of 221 members of Parliament were present during the second reading, with 156 voting in favour of the constitutional amendment and 65 voting against it. SJB MPs Diana Gamage, Ishaq Rahman, M. Rahim, Ahmed Nasir, Muhammad Haris, Faisal Qasim, Arvind Kumar and M.S. Taufik have voted in favour of the draft bill in the second reading. Making the reply speech of the relevant debate, Minister Ali Sabri said that the strengthening the executive means strengthening the country. He added a new constitution will be passed within a year. The government of Sri Lanka says that it has been made aware of the open judgment by the Proscribed Organisations Appeals Commission (POAC) of the United Kingdom on delisting the LTTE as a proscribed terrorist organisation. The government also said that it will appeal against the judgment of the independent tribunal in the UK, which has reportedly ordered the British Home Affairs to lift the ban on the LTTE. The Foreign Ministry, issuing a statement yesterday, said that the decision of the POAC arises from an appeal filed in May 2019 by an LTTE front organisation challenging the decision of the UK Secretary of State for Home Affairs dated 8 March 2019, which refused the application by the group to deproscribe the LTTE from the list of proscribed organisations under the UK Terrorism Act of 2000. The government said it has assisted the United Kingdom by providing relevant information with regard to the continued terrorist activities. The open judgment of the POAC, while allowing the appeal, provides for further hearings, and Sri Lanka will continue to closely monitor the progress of the case in the UK. The government maintains that it has sufficient evidence to prove that the remnants of the LTTE and the groups aligned with its terrorist ideology are active in foreign countries, working to incite violence and destabilize the country. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999.
Another 309 patients have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, with a majority of them connected to the Paliagoda fish market. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva said that out of the new positive cases, 182 are from the Paliagoda fish market, 2 are from quarantine centres, and the remaining 75 are from the close contacts. The tally of the positive cases from the Minuwangoda cluster has increased to 2,817. Total coronavirus infections confirmed in Sri Lanka to date reached 6,287. Meanwhile, recoveries from the virus reached 3,561 so far, as 60 more patients returned to health and were discharged from hospitals. The epidemiology unit says 2,712 active cases are still receiving treatment. 14 deaths have been reported so far. The Devela Central Trade Complex has been temporarily shut down until further notice. A person working on a lorry transporting fish from the Paliagoda Central Fish Market to fish stalls in the complex has reportedly contracted the virus. As it had been revealed that the infected person had visited several shops in the Devela Central Trade Complex, traders of the complex are to be subjected to PCR testing today. The Government Medical Officers Association requests the government to close all liquor shops and outlets to help increase the immunity of the people. They also requested the government to promote the use of toxin-free traditional foods among the people and urge them to drink water regularly to abstain from using liquor and prevent smoking. And that's local news.
An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Army Commander says that persons who had visited the Paliagoda fish market within the past week must contact their nearest public health inspector for a PCR test. 182 infections in total connected to the Paliagoda fish market were detected during the past few days. More than 1,000 vendors, workers at the Paliagoda fish market and their contacts have already been referred to PCR tests following the new development. And that's main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Lepa.
In Moshlight, the Foreign Ministry has decided to suspend all services offered by the Consular Affairs Division of the Ministry until further notice to restrict the congregation of the general public and thereby to prevent the spreading of COVID-19 virus. Accordingly, the Consular Affairs Division situated at the Selinka building in Colombo will remain closed for visitors, including exporters who visit the division for attestation of the export documents until further notice. And that's Watchlight. And moving on to world news, headlines first. Trump and Biden prepare for final debate clash. France extends overnight curfew as cases surge. Prison break and gunshots heard as unrest continues in Nigeria. And those are the headlines of the world news. Moving on to the stories, Donald Trump and Joe Biden share the stage at 9 o'clock local time today for their final debate before the 3rd November election. Their first encounter was an ill-tempered mess, but new rules are in place for the Nashville event, including a mute button. The topics will be fighting COVID-19, American families, race in America, climate change, national security, and leadership. France will extend an overnight curfew to dozens more areas in a bid to slow the spread of coronavirus, Prime Minister Jean Castex has announced. The second wave is now underway, he said, shortly before the country announced a record of 41,622 new cases. The local 9 o'clock, maybe 9 to 6 curfew will come into force at midnight today, and some 46 million people will now be affected by the measure. Gunfire has erupted and jailbreaks have been reported in Nigeria as unrest over the shooting of protesters in its biggest city continues. Rights group Amnesty International said security forces killed at least 12 people in Lagos on Tuesday. Nigeria's army has denied killing demonstrators in the Lekki area, provoking more anger. And that's world news.
Development News is brought to you by...
My wife always sets a full lunch table, even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan newe.
Infrastructure development projects in Himbiliyakada, Vilgamur in the Martale district has commenced. During the visit to the Martale district recently, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed officials to execute development projects and giving priority to the essential constructions and provision of service facilities. And that's development news.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the 4 of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan newe.
Sports News is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Manish Pandey's superb unbeaten 83 helped Sunrisers Hyderabad to an 8-wicket win over Rajasthan Royals in the Indian Premier League. Pace bowler Jofra Archer removed David Warner and England teammate Johnny Bairstow in a blistering new ball spell that reduced the Sunrisers to 16 for 2 in pursuit of 155 in Dubai. With Pandey hit 4 fours and 8 sixes, sharing an unbroken stand of 140 with Vijay Shankar, who contributed 52 to take them to their target with 11 balls to spare. And that's sports news.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bee here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go. It's the right amount of crunch and OMG, so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Reach out the high goals.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Headline inflation, as measured by the year-on-year change in the National Consumer Price Index, increased to 6.4% in September 2020 from 6.2% in August 2020. This was driven by the monthly increases in prices of items in both food and non-food categories.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Monetary Board of the Central Bank has decided to maintain the standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the Central Bank at their current levels of 4.5% and 5.5% respectively, thereby continuing the prevailing accommodative monetary policy stance. And that's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, the weather report. Showers will occur at several places in Western and Sub-Brahma provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara and Galle and Mathura districts, stated the Department of Meteorology. Strong gusty winds about 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in north central and northwestern provinces and in Trincomalee, Batticaloa, Mathura and Hambantota districts and in the western slopes of the central hills. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The 20th Amendment to the Constitution has been passed with a 2/3 majority. 8 opposition members voted in favour. The government says the new constitution will be passed within a year. Sri Lanka is to appeal against the move to lift UK's ban on LTTE. Total coronavirus infections in the country reached 6,287, while recoveries from the virus reached 3,561.